Because if it's not on Instagram, it's not real, right, you guys? Come on. So I'm the kind of person where if I get really excited about a project, I like have tunnel vision on that project and it's the only thing that I see. And I forget to focus on all the other stuff out here. So what I want to do today is create the opposite of that for you guys when it comes to growing the practice. And we can definitely get stuck in focusing just on the inside of the practice and making sure that our practice members get what they want. We can also get stuck in focusing just on online stuff or focusing just on maybe ads or maybe the Chamber of Commerce or maybe BNI and really what I want to invite you to is get creative with a broad scope marketing plan. And the 4-part marketing map is what we're going to do a deep dive on today. And if you are, oh wait, hold on, let me let my friends in Zoom. Hold on a second, sorry. If you're new in practice, as we go through this process, hi Maya, as we go through this process, if you're new in practice and hi Billy, and your practice is small, you want to focus more on outside things, and that will make sense in a few minutes. If I'm at the point in practice where I'm really happy with where my practice is, I don't necessarily want it to grow aggressively. I just want to make sure that the people who I'm serving are getting loved on in the way that I want them to be loved on. So more of my stuff is going to be inside stuff. And the way that this is broken up is there are habits that we do on a regular basis, and there are celebrations that we participate in on a regular basis. There are inside of each and there are outside of each. So the concept is inside habits are the inside things that we do in the office on a regular basis that habitually move the practice forward. Inside celebrations are the celebrations that we offer inside of the practice. So it may be like a practice member appreciation month, or it may be a review drive, or it may be whatever, right? There are all kinds of things, and we'll go over that today too. If you are at 80+% in where your practice, like how busy your practice is. If you're not really hungry to grow right now, you're more hungry to streamline, make sure your practice members are happy, you want to focus more on inside stuff. If you're like, you know what, I got to move the needle. I got to get people in my practice. I need people to know what I do. If you want to scream from the rooftops and say, hey, everybody in town, I'm Dr. Jody, I'm the person who does this thing for my community, then you want to focus more on the outside things. But what I beg of you is don't forget while you're focusing on outside that there are inside things that need to be nurtured. So I talk a lot about Who Not How, the book Who Not How, and the concepts in Who Not How of not asking yourself, how am I going to get this done? Asking yourself, who's going to get this done for me? Who is already the person or the system or the AI bot or whatever it is to where I don't need to recreate the wheel. It's already been invented. What wheel can I implement in my world to make sure that all 4 of those components are moving forward at the pace for my practice that I want them to be moving forward with? My pace is going to be very different from Chris's, which is going to be very different from John's. Everybody is at a different pace. Some people come to us and they say, I don't want to see more than 1 new person a week. More than that's going to overwhelm me. And some people say, I want to see a new person every hour. So everybody comes to this opportunity with a different want. And the want is based on time, energy, money. The time, energy, money of you, of your practice, of your goals, of your family, and so on and so forth. Okay? So what I want to do today is I want to go over the tools that I use. And if you're with me in Zoom, I'm going to give you free everything. You're about to get it. If you are already a client, you don't need to click on these links. You already have all of this in our RISE program. If you're not yet a client and you're watching this, you're watching the recording, you're watching the live, reach out to me if you're interested or intrigued. We can do everything from teach you how to do it and say, here you go, good luck, tell us if you need help, to doing it all for you and telling you, don't touch a thing, let us take over for you. Okay. I think the most important place to start this journey is to figure out what the problem you solve is. And as a straight chiropractor, I took an oath to adjust anyone and everyone, right? Independent of all of the different things. I don't remember what it is at this point, but I say yes, as long as you're looking to release subluxation, I'm your person, right? However, I also know that the clearer and more intentional I am with my marketing, the more I'm going to land on the laps or on the phones or on the screens of the person who I really go and do the studying for, who I really go and do the prep for, whose colors were chosen on my wall, whose music was chosen in my room, in my adjusting room. So I want you to start with identifying what's the problem that you solve. Who is your perfect practice member? Perfect practice member, the term can be exchanged for avatar. If you looked at your calendar today and you had a full day in the office, who ideally is on the schedule? What's their age? What's their interest? Where are they at in their life? What have they studied? What do they want to study? What's their problem? And what do they think that you do to solve that problem for them? And I say, what do they think that you do? Because that is a really important component. My moms come to me because they think that I flip breech babies, or they think that I fix cranial irregularities, or they think that I make babies poop. They have all kinds of ideas of why they're getting on my schedule. My intention is to make sure that they're not subluxated, to make sure that their nerve system is functioning at 100%. They come to me with an agenda, but my agenda does not yield depending on what they say they're coming to me. My agenda is always the same. So those are two things to get really clear on as you start to plan this marketing. What is your agenda? What is your goal or your intention with your practice? What's your why? What's your mission? What are your values? That's thing one. And thing two, who is that a match for? Is it a match for before, during, and after baby families? Is it a match for professional golf players? For our buddy James here, it's a match for skiers, for people who go and hang out on ski resorts and have injuries from time to time. Billy may have an entrepreneurial 30-something who's not ready for baby yet. They're more focused on their career. Who is your person, and what is the agenda that they come to you with? What is the problem that they think that you're solving? Because I promise you there is one. If you can figure that out and spend the time studying that, and you guys, I know that there's a part of the brain that goes to, well, I want to take care of everybody. I get it. But we can't plan our marketing for everybody. We can, the clearer and more specific we get with our marketing, the more we attract that person, because we all have the same 24 hours. So if your 24 hours are 6 of those hours are service hours, who can you fit in? If you can only fit in 30, 40, 50 people during those service hours, of the thousands of people that see your name, who are those people who make it to your schedule? And what is the problem? What's their agenda? What's the problem that they're coming to you with looking to get solved? My moms, my perfect practice member is a 30-something mom with the time, energy, and resources to give more and do more for her family. That is called my perfect practice member statement. I memorized it so that everything in me knows who that person is. So she thinks that her agenda is to be more connected. Her agenda is to have the resources to be on the cutting edge, to be as tapped in as possible in the crunchy mom movement, right? She is who I set all of this up for when I'm looking at marketing for my practice. And I've got 2 businesses going. So that's my practice. And then I also have Staffless Practice. In Staffless Practice, My person isn't necessarily a man or a woman, very different. My person now is a practice owner or manager who wants to be more efficient and more joy-based in time, energy, money for their practice. They want to find the point where excellence and effectiveness meet, right? So the work that they're doing, the clarity of the work, the precision of the work, as well as how effective and efficient it is, where that meets, that's where I want to be hanging out for you guys. So you can tell that I've studied this. I want you to take the time before you start making a plan to narrow down and narrow down and narrow down who you're building all of this for. Okay. So that's thing one. Then thing two is we pull out, let me show you here. So something that looks like this, right? Something that looks like a whole lot of markers and a whole lot of pens and maybe even a wand. So we're going to pull it all out and we're going to get into playing with the books. So there are 2 books. Maya, I sent you a box of books last week. I hope you got them. So one of the books is the playbook, and this is your resource guide for every marketing event I have ever done or studied. This is inspired by all of the coaches I've worked with. It's all of the events. It's all of the, wait, hold on. Am I saying it wrong? I'm saying it wrong. I've got a lot of books these days, you guys, and I get them mixed up. Okay. The plan is the marketing plan. The plan is, I think it's somewhere upwards of 45 different marketing events for your practice. And we'll go through a few of them today. If you're in Zoom with me, I'm going to give you a copy of all of my books for free. Okay. If you're watching this somewhere in the ethers, right, reach out to me and I'll get you the link. So, and we'll get that to you before you leave Zoom. Thanks, Jen. Hi, Jen. I want to be in Arizona with you. So that's that. This book also comes with a Canva swipe file. So I'm giving you, let's say there's one event called What's in Your Bag Mama. And the concept of What's in Your Bag Mama is, I'm actually about to do one of these for the moms in my practice. And the idea is you set up in a living room or your practice or a restaurant, wherever is best fitted. And if you're not a mom person, you're more of a professional athlete or even a professional person, make it relevant to your perfect practice member. And you bring a bag of really great content that person always has on their person. So like my moms would have a diaper bag. My golfers would have a golf bag. My CrossFit athletes would have a CrossFit gym bag, right? So you have a bag of crap stuff that they might get at everything on sale and clearance, and it's the cheap thing and they throw it in the bag and God only knows what's in it. And then you also have a bag of the version of that thing that's high quality, really well made. And you're thinking like, what are the things that those people are consuming that they think are healthy or they think are supporting their health? In a diaper bag, I'll have diapers, wipes, creams, snacks, drinks, drink for mom, drink for sibling, drink for baby. Hopefully, I'm not going to go there. Maybe even coupon cards to my favorite stores, crap version of that. And then I'll have the organic, high quality version of that in the second diaper bag. And I'll just go through a show and tell. So what I'm doing at this event is I'm sharing what I know. I'm sharing information that's valuable to my perfect practice member. And by the way, I'm a chiropractor. So I'm dropping seeds of chiropractic throughout this presentation. So Jim might decide to do a ski bag talk. What's in your ski bag? And there may be, this is what they put on their feet before they put their socks on, but it's got like all kinds of crap and poison in it. And then here's the organic version of that. And it's Jim just doing a show and tell of this is what I know as a professional. And by the way, I'm a chiropractor. So that's What's in Your Bag Mama. So this book will have the checklist. I think all of them have like a 12-week countdown checklist of what you need to do to prep for the event, as well as the flyers, the shopping, the supplies list. It's all in the book. So that would be, if I did a What's in Your Bag Mama, that would be an example of an outside event or an outside celebration. Remember, we talked about inside and outside habits and celebrations. If I'm just doing that for my practice members, it would be an inside celebration. And if I want to have a healthy, balanced marketing plan, I want to make sure, A, that I enjoy doing these things. I hate doing spinal screenings. Do not ask me to stand outside of a big box store for upwards of 4 hours and touch hundreds of sweaty people who I beg them to touch them for free. And maybe 1 out of every 50 people says, I keep hearing your name, sign me up. I would so much rather do a What's in Your Bag Mama because it's fun. It brings me joy. Some people might love doing spinal screenings. Do what you love to do, because as long as you're doing what you love to do, that's going to be your bird call, right? That's what people are going to see and hear and experience. And what do people want more than anything right now? They want to feel connected. So if you're connected to what you're doing, they will know it immediately, especially if you work with babies and animals. If you are disconnected, stop what you're doing and pivot. Okay. So those are the things that I wanted to share about what we're going to do a deep dive on today. I'm also live in StreamYard, so I'm going to go ahead and end that. If you guys want to meet us in Zoom for this talk, you can come to stafflesszoom.com. Or you can join us in the Staffless Practice group. You'll see my link there. So I'm going to go ahead and stop my StreamYard. Otherwise, I'm going to be